Yeah, AJ, a 2-game win streak for Indiana. They've kind of started to. It felt like that second half against Maryland. They found something, and the first half was hard to watch. But
Yeah.
what did they find in your mind in that second half against Maryland that helped them flip the switch?
I really thought that Maryland didn't have the size to deal with TJD. And I really think TJD found his energy and his purpose and way to impact that game in the second half. It's not always about, catching the ball with your back to the basket and jump hooking. And it's about, can you create an offense, off your energy play, offensive rebounds, and multiple efforts, tipping the ball to yourself, going back up, dunking it, and ones. And each situation like that got TJD going on both ends. And I think when your leader, steps up and provides that energy, that everybody follows. And I saw that happen. And it wasn't, it's hard to tell which games are the grind out games that we need to win when all of them are grind out games. So sometimes you have the high scoring games where nobody's playing any defense. And then you have the games like last night where it's 55 points. So it's like, I thought, defensively, they've always been consistent most of the year. You're going to get beat sometimes defensively, but mostly they'll be consistent. But TJD found his energy. And that's what you have to do if you're going to call yourself the leader and the captain of the team that's going to take it as far as it can go.
Well, you and I talked about it on the live show after the Illinois game. That was the first game that Archie Miller changed the starting lineup. He
Mhm.
put Rob Phinisee on the bench, Trey Galloway as a starter. It does feel like Rob has come out with a little bit more energy. What have you seen in his game since the switch that is promising for the rest of the season?
I just see him starting to probe a lot more, starting to look for opportunities to be aggressive. I remember one shot in the second half where he hit the other side of the backboard, and I thought it was gonna derail him. And things like that is what you have to come from and make plays. But he continued to play. He continued to try to create for others. He continued to help the offense run crisp. And he didn't, have the impact offensively that he had the last game, but with Armand going down with the ankle injury, it still provided some stability. So offensively, Maryland guards weren't going to have a field day. And defense, and then on his offensive end, he was able to keep the offense going and keep the ball going inside, outside, and and he did. He's doing. It seems like he's getting a lot more confident, and it seems like coach is starting to trust him a lot more too.
It did feel like he was starting to gain a little bit of confidence there, especially in the Penn State game, and then continuing over into Maryland. You dealt with your fair share of turmoil in terms of injuries and transfers and having to step up when people were lost. And obviously, Indiana had to do that last night or
Yeah.
on Monday, losing Armand Franklin. Other people had to step in.
Mhm.
Uh, your guy, you've been calling for Anthony Leal to get some more playing time. He got some extended run. What did you see from him? I know he didn't score, but what did you see from him in his one of his higher total minutes games of the year?
I thought he competed. I mean, when you're not, when you're a scorer and you're coming from high school and you're used to getting the ball, shooting a lot of shots, it's hard to transfer that, to I'm gonna be a role player right now. So it's hard to accept that role until you can get back to the point where you're one of the focal points of the offense again. So I thought he came in and just played his role. He's definitely a kid that I believe, in the long run is going to help IU in some games by stretching the floor out. Armand going down and probably being out for the next 2 games, here's the opportunity. And a lot of guys play with that energy when the initial injury happens, but the key is to sustain it throughout 4 or 5 games. Can Anthony put together a 4 or 5 game stretch where he contributes 6 to 10 points a game, plays stellar defense, and uses this opportunity to earn trust from Archie? That's the hard part. The energy and is watching Armand going down and knowing, and that's easy. But sustaining it and preparing as if you're going to be a integral part, can you continue that? That's going to be the question with Anthony.
You were so smooth, I can't imagine you ever did. But did you ever have a moment where you did what Armand did, where you kind of rolled your ankle wrong and had to deal with any sort of high ankle sprain, some sort of ankle injury like that?
I was fortunate enough in college not to sprain my ankle at the wrong time. I don't think I had an ankle injury. If I did, I played through it but back then, but I don't remember. I did break my wrist, and I didn't sit out any games for a broken wrist. I just got a shot, kept playing. I would dribble the ball and it just go out of bounds every now and then. But when your wrist is numb, that's what happens. So, but I think there's no rush right now. I think if IU can squeeze out the next 2 games, man, I think we are in a great position to be able to compete. And that's the patience I was talking to the fans about and asking for. It's not just being positive, it's just being patient, man. It's a long season. You never know who's going to go down, who's going to get injured, who's going to step up and be a hero. I still think Geronimo can come in and provide some punch energy wise. I'm still looking for lane runners and easy baskets. I'm still looking for that because we're going to need that against certain teams that score. When Michigan comes to town, we can't score 60 points. When Illinois comes back to time, if they play them again, or Purdue, we can't score 60 points and win. We got to get out, get some easy baskets. And I think this is an opportunity, a great opportunity for those we were calling to step up. Lander, Leal, even Durham. You got to continue to produce if we're gonna fulfill our dreams of competing.